What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're talking to Andy Sandoval. You might have seen him on Euphoria. So I kind of wanted to talk to him today about his experience with that and just his life as an actor living in LA. So yeah, let's get started. Andy. So what got you into acting in the first place?
Yeah, it's such a funny question because like growing up, honestly, I never thought I'd be an actor. Like I used to like in high school, I was a sports guy and I always used to clown on the theater kids. I just thought it was kind of fruity. And then dude, I worked at Home Depot and I got fired for sleeping in my car um for 3 hours on a 15-minute break. It was a total like just screw up on my end. It was horrible. But that led me to meeting my manager at a different retail store. So shout out to Home Depot for firing me. That was like,
Wait, so they just walked in and they were like, "You, we want you."
no, well, here it is. Like I was working at Orchards and my manager now, Christina Scott, we got stuck in the elevator together and I was just helping her out like with like
Like for like stuck between floors type of thing?
yeah, like we were just in the elevator
Oh
stuck.
shit.
And we just like had no choice but to start talking to each other. And I worked there at Orchards. The store closed down. But yeah, bro, she just like told me straight out of the bat, she was just like, hey, like I'm this director of talent and you should like really think about being on TV. And I was like, lady, like, what are you talking about? Like I gotta work. And she was just so adamant and so like, I don't know, man. Like she was just like staring at me in my eyes. And this is before COVID. So I could see her face. Like she was just not bullshitting me. She was serious. She was like, no, like you could do this. Like I just helped this little girl pay for her college tuition and she's 6. And I was like,
Damn. Wait, how long ago was that?
I was 18. So that was about 8 years ago. Yeah. Wow.
Damn.
I know, and like I just kind of I really didn't think she was serious. So like, I think like 2 days went by, and bro, she would call me and text me nonstop, like, "Hey, did you schedule your headshots? Did you look at these classes?" And that's when I knew she was like the real deal.
Yeah.
Started to just learn about acting. I understood that like it's not easy and it's an investment. Like, a
So
lot.
did you even have a preconception that you wanted to be an actor at all, or was it really just like her being like, "You're gonna be an actor"?
Exactly. Yeah. She was like, "You got to do this," and I was just like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, it's not me. But I fell in love with it. I started to make my own videos in college. After that, like, I joined the film class and all that stuff, and I just fell in love with it after that. But she was the one who lit the match under my butt. Like, she was for sure. Shout out to Christina.
That's awesome. And you're from out here in
Yeah, dude,
LA.
born and raised. Yeah, I grew up in downtown LA.
Damn, what's that like? I don't think I would want to be like born and raised here, but all the weirdos are transplants usually. So, you probably got a pretty good head on your shoulders.
Oh man, it's weird. Everyone always asks me what it was like growing up here. It's just like I guess when you're used to traffic and stuff, it doesn't upset you, you know?
Hmm.
Like, I would like grew up on Adams and Figueroa, like that's where I went to school at St. Vincent's, and I was used to the homelessness and the traffic at a very young age. So it never really phased me. And growing up now, it's just something I'm used to. But when I met Christina, that's when I understood why there's so many tourists here. I was like, oh shit, wait, Sony's right here. And I was
Hmm.
like, oh, that's where they film. I was like, oh, those are the yellow signs. That's what that means. And I was like, oh wow, this is the epicenter of like entertainment. Like I'm here, I live here. Wow. And that's when it kind of hit me when I was 18. I was just like, holy shit, I live in LA.
Damn. So you lived with your parents at the time, I'm assuming.
No, dude, I lived right up the street from the store I worked at Audition, Santa Monica. I had a roommate at the time.
Oh.
And
Wait, when did you move out?
when I was 18, dude, I was just like, peace
You're
out.
just like peace.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. I have a big family, so a lot of brothers and sisters, and I'm a middle child, so I get like the perfect amount of neglect and attention. So my mom wasn't really like gonna battle me. She was like, yeah, go do your thing.
That's cool. I could tell you though, if I grew up out here and my parents lived out here, I would never leave because it is so expensive out here.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's um no, for sure. Like, yeah, I mean, when you think about it, for sure, I could have saved like thousands of dollars by living at home. But I guess like what you're paying for is just like the mental peace, you know? Like right now, like I'm like in the comfort of my own space. Like I don't have to worry about my little brother or sister yelling and the dogs barking. Like it's
Yeah,
nice,
that makes sense.
you know.
Yeah. So yeah, we briefly mentioned Euphoria. I know that's a big show right now. Um, So I was kind of wondering, like, did you go through the traditional process of, auditioning for it? And what was that process like? Because your scene was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, dude, that it was pretty traditional, you know, it was it all kind of was like it came at 180 the night before we shot. But yeah, Christina, my manager, called me and she was like, Andy, I got this huge audition for you. It's with Zendaya. It's a show called Euphoria. It's an HBO show. It's just you and her. And she didn't give me any of the gist like what this scene like was about. She just said it's you and her. And so I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. She was like, right, the audition's tomorrow at 2 at Brady May Casting, which is in um, Culver City. I live like right here. And I was just like, oh, okay, great. I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And I wore my lucky green shirt, you know, just like casual jeans and boots. And I'm the only guy in there. So I'm like, okay, cool. And the role name is Rando Fuckboy.
Oh
So
God.
I go to a receptionist. I'm like, yeah, I'm here to audition for a Rando Fuckboy. And then he goes, oh, okay, yeah, just take a seat. We'll call you in, dude. And this, like, oh my gosh, bro, I was like so nervous because I was just like, dude, like, this is a pretty big scene. And I mean, the script was like so just raw. You know, I've never like auditioned for anything like that in person. I was just, I don't know, just it was out there. You know, just didn't hold back. And I was just like, okay, I'm just talking like if it was, you know, like I don't know, just me, I guess. And I just went in there, bro, and I just was sitting down like this, like along from the cast director, and I said the lines, and I messed up I think I like I dried up on one line. I just completely missed it, and I recognized it. I was like, oh, hold on, can we actually do this one more time? And she was like, yeah, yeah, go ahead. I just did it, just super nonchalant, just like you know, because I was just Christina told me she was like, look at Andy, she was like, "I know this girl." She was, "I worked with her like for years." She was like, "Don't go in there and make small talk. Just go in there, do the audition, act like you have better things to do, and walk out." She was like,
Mm,
"Say the words, do the slate, say thank you, and leave. Don't say thank you for like just leave." I was like, "Okay." So that's what I
that's
did.
really good advice.
Yeah, I just went in there. I wasn't trying to be rude. Like I smiled, said thank you, but I just like ran out of there. I was like, "Oh shit, oh shit." But it was so nerve wracking, bro, because like the lines, I've never said anything like those lines before. And then I'm literally 30 minutes down the 10 freeway headed home, and I get the call from Christina telling me that they picked me for the job.
Oh
And
shit.
I'm like, I'm in traffic. I'm just like, no freaking way. I'm like, took me an hour to get home. By the time I get home, she tells me that I booked the job.
Wow.
And within an hour of auditioning, I found out I got the role.
Dude, that's amazing. Did was there more like in the audition than there was when you filmed it?
No, the actual film, like, what we filmed was way more than what I auditioned, dude. So, like after I booked it, a couple nights passed, and I got a call from the intimacy coordinator telling me that the director got sent in his shot list, but now instead of because they asked me if they could see my butt, and I was like, yeah, sure, you guys can see my butt, like, you know, I mean people all the time.
You do you want to describe what the scene is?
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so in the scene, Zendaya plays a character named Rue, and Rue is talking about her brief sexual history, and the shot is me on top of her, and I I come, and then now it's the shot is looking over on top of us, and I'm completely naked, and I ask her if she came, and she says yes, but she can obviously did it because she realizes right then that it's not like boys. Yeah. It's a pretty big
Yeah.
scene because like she loses her virginity in the scene, and that's when like you know like okay, Rue doesn't fly that way.
Yeah, that was a big scene. It was pretty pivotal for the Jules and Rue storyline. I remember that. Um, but yeah, so I was gonna ask you, do you have some sort of acting technique that you use, or is it just kind of whatever you're feeling in the moment?
Well, I
Like,
studied Meisner, and aside from Meisner, I just did a lot of improv training at a UCB. But I've learned like from Anthony Montes, the acting coach that I go to, just kind of to like make like so if you take a situation and then you have like maybe some sort of similar life experience to it, you can take those emotions and put it into that story. But for example, like say the script is like my dad is yelling at my mom, and the obviously the dad's name is not my dad's name. When I practice those lines, I'm going to change those names, and I'm going to change the script dad's name to my actual dad's name to give me more of like a personable feeling to the story, so I can bring that emotion, that raw emotion that's like true, whether as like I'm trying to force that emotion because I'm actually feeling what that's going on.
Yeah, that makes sense. So would you is it kind of like an as if?
Um,
So like so for
I
an
guess,
as if would be oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, I guess you can say like if it's an as if it's not the healthiest thing to do though, mentally, like to constantly be like traveling back to either traumas or it's like it can be good if it's like a happy emotion with acting. Like most of like the I guess the praise comes from the dramatic scenes that we do. So it's not the healthiest thing to do, but I find it to be the most effective for sure.
Yeah. I had a teacher who uh the way she makes it, well, it's Ivana Chubbuck. So the way that she makes it a little bit more healthy is that if you try to deal with your current trauma in
Mhm.
the scene and try to win and overcome that thing, it actually, once you're done with the scene, it feels like a cathartic experience as opposed to like reliving a trauma because you're working through actively shit that you're going through at the moment.
It's like low key therapy.
Yeah, it's like therapy, but it's for artistic purposes.
Yeah, yeah, it is for artistic purposes, and that's why I always have to remind myself, like, you kind of have to snap back out of it and just like, okay, like you did that for artistic purposes, and that's why I really, like went out for that role. Like when they called me and told me that they wanted to see like me nude, that it wasn't just my butt. I was just like, I don't want to be someone who's incapable because of like my own insecurities, and there's like tons of insecurities like when it comes to seeing someone like yourself naked on screen. But I was just like, you know what, like I got to break this glass ceiling. This isn't something that like a lot of actors do because it's like I don't know. It's one, it's super uncomfortable, but I put myself in that character's position. I was like, you know what? Like this is for the art. Like it was a beautifully like done set, and like the shot was amazing. So I couldn't have asked for any better like opportunity to do that. But yeah, you can do it for the art. Whether it's I feel like for me, I'll do it if it's unhealthy just to get like what you're trying to get to, but I you tell yourself it's for the art, and that kind of makes it all better.
Yeah, that scene was very exposing. Like I couldn't even imagine what was going through your head when you were doing it.
Gosh, bro, I mean, Zendaya, shout out to Zendaya, man. She's like, wow, what a great person to be opposite of on set. She really made me feel comfortable because like it's literally we probably went into the second version because we did three different versions. We did one where I was nude, boxers, and then shirt and boxers. And I didn't talk to her. Like how like you reset and like they're setting up and they're talking about it and stuff. Well, from the entire first version, I didn't say like one word to her aside from the rehearsal. I didn't ask her how she was doing. I didn't ask her anything. I was like just laying next to her, just like thinking about the lines, just focusing on my facial, expressions and like how cold I was because it was freezing in there.
Seems like it.
Yeah, and then I think when I took like when I was like half naked is when we started talking, and she made me feel comfortable. She was like, "So, where are you from?" And we just started like,
That's nice.
yeah, and like when it came down to like going nude, like when like those two versions were done, I was like, all right, guys, I need to take a 10-1. Like just let me run to the red.
Yeah.
A little pep talk in the mirror. I was like, all right, Andy, look at like, and that's kind of when like the acting training came in. Like the flip the switch, because I was like, you're obviously uncomfortable. This is obviously like it's a private close set, but there's more than two eyes here. It's like director like Sam Levinson is like a legend. So I was like, all right, just like you said you were gonna do this, so don't like back out. Like you want to do this. Like this is what you're here for. Um, as soon as I opened the door, the intimacy coordinator is right there. She goes, "Are you okay? You sure you want to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I got this." But like, I had to like kind of chub myself up. Like it was cold in there, so I had to like do some jumping
You
jacks.
gotta like, I mean, we gotta fluff a little bit. You
So
gotta like,
yeah, it
you
was it
know,
was freezing in there. You had no idea.
yeah.
Horrible leg twitch when I get nervous, and I didn't know how to work with it back then. Like I had no breathing technique, so my leg is like going off the chain when I'm laying down next to Z. Like it's just like I'm trying to hold it and say the lines, and um, eventually, like she asked for like a little heater, a little space heater. I thought that was nice of her. I was like, thanks, because I
Oh yeah,
was like,
that is nice.
I wasn't gonna ask for one. But
How
it
many
was,
takes did y'all have to do with that?
dude. We shot that scene for 5 hours.
So I mean, that could be a lot of takes.
Yeah, we did three different versions of it. So the
Yeah.
closed version, we got 4 takes, 5 takes of the closed version. Boxers version did a couple takes of those, and the nudity version did a couple takes of those too. So all
Yeah.
that took, and then we did the different Down we did the coverages. So there's that shot that it's the overhead camera looking down, but then we also did the coverage of Zoo looking at the camera breaking the fourth wall, and then me like getting to the orgasm.
That seems that's I don't think people realize how much work goes into just what was it like a 20 second, maybe a couple minutes.
It was a pretty long scene. I would say like at least a minute.
Yeah. And I don't think people realize how many takes go into something like that.
It was
Just for
intense.
something.
Yeah.
So who are your favorite actors? I asked, oh yeah. Who are your favorite actors? Like who inspires you?
Man, I mean, I guess like growing up, it kind of faded, but then after I got to work with him, I was a stand-in. Daniel Radcliffe is for sure like top one. You know,
Yeah.
watching him work in his professionalism and how he understands like the behind the camera, like and how that side of the world operates. It's like wow, it's just like crazy to see. So Daniel Radcliffe for sure number one, and then like oldies, like people that like I'll like watch even when they're old or young is Patrick Dempsey. He's one that always inspired me, like his style, his hair. I love Patrick. And
What do
then
they call him? Dr. Handsome or something like that?
yeah, I know him from Can't Buy Me Love. So that's like the movie where I first started watching him. I've seen them. I saw the movie like 50 times last month. They're like, no lie, I literally watched the movie. I love it so much. And then the third one. This is tough because it's just like
I
feel
mean, you
like
can have more than three
okay,
if
okay,
you want. Like it's not, yeah.
okay. It's not top three.
No.
Okay, so Daniel Radcliffe, um, Patrick Dempsey. Shoot, dude, it's tough, man. There's so many good ones. Matthew McConaughey, bro, he's so versatile. Man, he's crazy. Um, a lot of these guys I look up to as their style, also like Ryan Gosling, like his cadence on camera.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, bro, like guy's a stud. You know,
He's so stoic. If
yeah,
mine and Spencer's episode is released, that's something that we talked about while he was on the podcast.
dude,
Uh
there's huge Ryan Gosling vibes, bro. Like, guy
yeah,
embodies.
Spencer, he definitely does. I almost wish he would even go further into it, you know?
Yeah. Right now,
He
bro,
has that.
I would say those are just the only ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked about it in that one. Mine were like, Leo. You got to give it to Leo.
Yeah, Leo's an awesome guy, dude. I would cry if I ever got to work with that guy for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I'm a huge fan of him too. I would
Yeah.
say my favorite Leo movie is Catch Me If You Can. I feel like that's the one where it's just like, dude, like what an awesome opportunity to like, like work in all those different cities, like what the heck? Like that's a dream job.
That was a flex. Like that was his
Yeah.
like you got to see so many different sides of him. Also underrated. Very underrated movie.
I mean, no one knows about it. Really.
Yeah.
Some people.
Yeah, he was really good in that. So do you produce some of your own stuff? And like how important do you think that is with like with acting? A lot of the times there's so few things that we have under our control.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point you just have to start making your own shit.
Dude, it's
So
yeah, I mean you hit it right there on the nail. I feel like if you didn't start making your own stuff yesterday, like you're already 10 steps behind with the game because like in this day and age, like with now, oh my gosh, but it upsets me to say it, but now that's like influencers are now like considered like eligible. That just creates more competition for SAG opportunities because people that are on TV speaking are they have to be a part of SAG. So now like if you can just get on your phone and get a bunch of followers and that makes you SAG eligible, creates so much more competition in the world. So you have to start making and producing your own kind of niche videos or content to kind of get some recognition aside from just the on-screen talent that you bring because at this day and age it's just not enough, like you can't control anything when you're in front of the camera.
yeah. So
So
what are some things that you're working on?
me and my friend Jimmy Ramos, we started this web series called Adventures of Jimmy and Andy. We only have one episode out. It's on our Instagram, but we're working on episode 2. And then
Have y'all
we
shot
made
it already?
no, we're writing it. We're writing
Oh,
episode
I
2.
see.
Yeah, we shot episode 1 already. It's already out, but we
Is
made
it
up.
like, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, dude. What are you gonna say?
Is it like a narrative arc? Like, is it all one storyline or is it a bunch of different stories?
No, it's a narrative arc for sure. So basically it starts off we're still trying to like introduce so many characters because there's so much potential for it. We're playing ourselves, but like not ourselves. Like our names are ourselves, but like what we do in the real life is not what we do in the show. You know?
Yeah.
And then our ages are different. We're playing younger. So Jeremy, like he has no game. Like he can't like pick up girls to save his life, you know? And then me, like I come in here like suave, like wearing a suit and stuff. I got all the game, driving the drop top convertible. Like I'm like, dude, it's easy. Like I'll show you. And that's basically like the premise of the show is me teaching Jeremy how to like get game and ask out the girl of his dreams. And then once like he asks her out, like, all right, now you got to go on the date. And then once you're on the date, like you got to keep it going. And there's obviously he runs into a lot of problems along the way. It's not going to be like super easy, because he's like
Yeah.
game. That's like the whole point of it is Jeremy has no game whatsoever.
I can see that being really funny.
It's pretty hard for watch episode 1. It's on
Okay. You said it's on your Instagram?
yeah, you have to go to the video section. It's like
Oh,
post
like the little second tab?
second tab.
Cool. What's your Instagram, by the way, in case someone wants to follow you?
Andy Sandoval 2 underscores.
Dude, you know what you should do? I've always said this. You should change it to Andival Sandoval.
What?
Like Andy should be short for Andival.
Dude, that is so cool. Like, yeah, just like
I've
one.
always thought that.
Wow, you never told that to me. That's such a good name.
I always
Dude.
call you that. I always just go Andival Sandoval.
That's really good. Someone told me it's like Andy, not Sandberg, and that kind of hurt my feelings. I was like, oh,
Huh.
it was like Andy, not.
Not Sandberg.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, dude, but I mean, aside from Euphoria, man, I did some other cool stuff,
Oh yeah,
like,
how's your Super Bowl commercial?
dude, those are pretty cool. I mean, they actually ended the contracts out in the same year. So I mean, I got what I got, which was pretty dope, but they're not gonna keep running them like forever. Uh,
Yeah.
but aside from that, bro, the whole commercial game is just a gauntlet, it's like I feel like it's just lucky numbers, like right timing, right kind of place kind of thing. I got lucky with some of those. Right now I have a couple auditions I got to work on. One is for a lead in a movie, and then the other one is for a DoorDash commercial.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty cool. So I got those I got to work on to do like Friday. But auditions have been like kind of steady, dude. Just kind of just been like lingering on my representation, what I want to do, because I feel like, I just, you just always want more, and I feel like it's
Yeah.
time to like spread my wings a little bit.
Yeah, I always feel like it's just a numbers game with auditioning, you know? Because I look back at some of my old auditions and I'm like, God damn, that didn't book, you know? I know it sounds super like cocky or whatever, but I'm just like, dude, like, I really think it's just like put out as many as you can.
Dude, literally, that's literally it. And I feel like even if I don't do one, like I'd be like, man, that was probably the one that I would have gotten if I don't do it. So I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. I know Spencer had one recently where he almost turned it down because he was working or something, and he booked it. Like, got the call the next day. He like was this close to turning it down, and got the call the next day that he booked it.
It's
And
weird. It's
it
like
really is like that.
the ones that you don't like overexert yourself for, the ones that you find like are just kind of just like, are the ones that you do really well in,
Yeah.
like weird.
It's so, I mean, I don't know, because I think it really is just a numbers game, you know?
It is.
Like I really do think there is something to that. Like we talked about this a lot on the other episodes of like not needing the job, like that type of thing, where it's like you go in where it's like you're not desperate.
Hmm.
And I think there's definitely something to that, but also there could just be something about it happens to fall on the same one as the one you don't care about, you
Yeah.
know? I don't
It's
know.
like I feel like honestly, like something that really humbled me, like there was a movie that just came out called He's All That. It was a Netflix movie, and I auditioned for it was one of the principal roles, and then I didn't end up getting the part, but then I got asked to stand in for the entire
Mm,
cast, and it was like the peak of COVID. Like we had just gotten greenlit, the first production, like to start. And so like midway through the movie, the AD asked me to rehearse a scene with the cast because we're gonna block it out because the actor is not here today. He's gonna come tomorrow. I look at the sides, bro, and it's the scene that I auditioned for. And I'm
Oh
like, I'm
shit.
about to rehearse this scene that I auditioned for with the cast. Like, I was like, this is so humbling. I was like, I'm a piece of poop, you know? And so, but here's the super humbling part that I really like help me understand, like find so much peace without booking jobs is that when the actor came to set the next day, it was a total 180. This kid looked like, well, he was a Samoan kid and looked nothing like me. I was like, wow, they went a whole different direction
Yeah.
last minute. But it was for sure humbling and eye-opening. I was just like, man, things can just, I guess it's not in your power. Like no matter what you do, like how good of a job, they just are gonna go with a whole different race. Like it's not even like, because they were looking for white Caucasian, and then like you read like we find out they just went a whole different direction.
Yeah. I know. So Nate, I don't know if you listened to the first podcast, the first episode. So he did this awesome role a couple of years ago. Um, worked with Tyron Woodley, I think, was in the scene, and there was another guy. Uh, I think his name's Jeremy Ironside. I think that's his name. Um, but basically, he was like a bank robber, right? And in the original breakdown, he was supposed to be this huge Samoan guy because he's supposed to have like this crazy large presence.
Yeah, yeah.
And Nate played it like super understated and underplayed. And like it had this just like simmer to it as opposed to like this overt masculine energy. And like when you watch the scene back, it really feels like no one else could have played that part, but it was so against what they were looking for.
Wow, that's crazy to hear. That's insane.
So it's like the opposite of that one. It's like
Insane.
he's a white guy and they were looking for a Samoan guy,
It's not
you
crazy.
know? So I don't know. Sometimes it works out in your favor.
Yeah, right.
And then
Uh,
sometimes you book everything and then you have like a year without booking anything.
Dude, that's okay, man. Like, I mean, I'm sure this happened to every single actor, but like the months leading up to COVID, like I was on the biggest snowball effect. Like I was booking so many shows and commercials, and then um COVID happened and everything stopped. And when things got greenlit again, I was just getting standing work. I wasn't booking any of my auditions. Like I just lost the mojo, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's brutal. Because I
Yeah.
was,
Leading up to COVID's, there was some like energy that I could just feel. I was like, yes, it's about to happen.
yeah, right.
Um, I got like an audition like every other day and like I was getting good feedback. I was like, yeah, something's gonna happen. And then it like hit and it was just like shit. Everything shut down. And then I kept getting like Zoom auditions,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
where the series would be about being on Zoom.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Like, yeah, they like tried to adapt, but
Yeah.
it just didn't work out. And then nothing for like 2 years pretty much. I mean, lately, I don't know, I've been getting one every week on average, at least. But yeah, I know right before COVID hit, it was just like I had like 8 in like a month or something like that. So
Yeah, that's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
yeah,
Most
I
people
I
get
was
1 in every 10,
I was like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I got so stoked that one time I saw your commercial with Adam Levine. I was like, no way. I was like, what the heck? That's so cool.
Wait, you're saying you did a commercial with Adam Levine?
You did.
Oh
I,
yeah, I thought you were like
I got
you
so
almost did one.
commercial. No, it
Oh
was sick.
yeah,
I remember that, dude. That was so dope.
that was cool. That was a really cool experience.
Bro, that was it was shot amazingly. Like you just did a good job. Like it was awesome, bro.
Yeah, that director was pretty cool.
Wow, who was the director? Do you remember?
Um, I don't remember his name. No, but he was very on top of it. He did a bunch of, I don't know if you watched it, but he did a bunch of like experimental shots. Like they were very like he used the vertigo effect a lot. I don't know
Yeah,
if you saw that.
it was so differently shot. Like that's what I loved about it so much. Like it was just like you felt you were with you guys almost. It was weird.
Yeah, he definitely gave that feeling. But the way that they shot it was like the camera would start like 50 feet away and then he would come like zooming in. And
Yeah.
so it would, like the background would like squeeze and then your face would be the same size the whole time. But yeah, we had to do like 30 takes of each angle because of just like how technical those shots were.
That's crazy.
And the whole thing was green screen. Like it
No.
looks like we were actually, yeah. So we at
What?
the Sepulveda Dam, they shut down that, you know, the Sepulveda Dam, like
Yeah,
that big
yeah,
open area in the concrete.
yeah.
So we were down there, but they had like these 50-foot green screens put up everywhere. So when I was driving up, it was like the coolest experience. I was like, I'm in a fucking movie. Like, you know, you have that feeling of like, oh shit, I'm really about to do something today. But it was like this huge set with like cranes and like the big lights and like everything. So it was just really cool. It was a really cool experience.
That's so cool, dude, man. Yeah, I got freaking lit when I saw you, bro. I was like, that's my boy.
Yeah. Yeah. For real. So something we talked about and basically all the other podcasts is like one person said like having something more interesting to do after the audition. Um and we were kind of touching on you know, not being desperate.
Mhm.
So what are your thoughts on that idea?
Um,
Like what do you think that energy really is?
I don't know. I don't know because it's tough, dude. Like everyone's situation is kind of different, you know. So like me, for example, dude, like I never wanted to like really pursue acting as much as I am now. So when I look back on it now, like I can honestly say, well, I'm happy with the things I've done. Like I can give it back to you and be like, you know, I accomplished something in that field that a lot of people, you know, like dream years to do. And so when I get auditions, you know, I guess the sense of desperation might come from before I used to have it when I hadn't booked anything at all. Like I had never booked a job, and I was like, well, it's either I book this or I go back to delivering pizzas, you know.
Mm.
So there's always that pressure where it's like I need this job because I want to get out of this lifestyle. Um, but I guess like once you like you know get one credit under your belt or two, and then they start slowly building your confidence when you get the audition to not need like you know like that feeling where it's like oh man like I gotta get this audition because you have a sense of like accomplishment, you know. Like if things were to like go south tomorrow, like you know like you get paralyzed or something, like well I actually did something, like you know you can walk away happy from it. But it's tough to get there. Like it's not easy. You know, you definitely have to work for that. It's not something you just happens. You know, it's a lot of like investing in yourself, which I didn't understand at first.
Yeah. I like that you said that. That's a really good way to put it.
Mhm.
Um, I know for me, that idea is like just having a job outside of like just having a consistent income.
See the
Like
consistency. Yeah, it's
for
nice.
me, that changed everything. So now going into like auditions or whatever, even self tapes, just like I would love to book something really awesome,
Mhm,
but like I don't need to. Like it's not gonna like keep the roof over my head, you know?
mhm. Yeah. No, yeah, totally. And I think like having like for sure a side hustle as an actor is like
Let's
you-
talk about that actually, because you're like the side hustle king. So uh yeah, so what do you do for money outside of acting?
dude, honestly, man, I've always tried to like see myself like an octopus when it comes to like finances and stuff. Like I like to have my hands in like so many different things because one guy told me when I was in college, forget his name, but I never forget the words he told me. He was just like, Andy, one source of income is really close to zero like sources of income. If someone takes away that source, you're down at zero. So the trick is to have more than one. If you have two, someone takes one away, you got still one left. So I started to do that. Started to learn like you know how like I can make money this way and that way. So I jumped onto stocks, started trading stocks and options off my phone and laptop. Basically taught myself. You know, I never take any class or anything like that. Um, and then also got my real estate license. My family, like my mom, my stepdad, my stepmom, and my biological dad, they're all realtors. You know, so it's just like been in the family. And when COVID hit, I didn't want to turn to it, but it was just like in my face. You know, they were still working, they were still selling homes. I was like, well, I guess it's kind of a no brainer. You know, like when the dream dies, you gotta go to work. So I got real
Yeah.
estate, you know.
Yeah, that's a good field to get into. That's actually something that's like my next move is getting the real estate on the side.
You're telling me, bro.
Um
Me too. Yeah, that's like I feel like it's something that everyone should if not get licensed, but get educated on, because it's like we're becoming of that age where we're gonna become homeowners, and we gotta learn, you know.
Yeah, I completely agree. It just seems like one of those jobs you can, I don't want to say just do it on the side because I know it takes a lot of work and commitment to like sell homes and whatnot. But it is one of those things where if you do need to take off a day or two to go across the country for a job, like an acting job or something, like there's nobody, no boss being like, you can't do that, you
Yeah,
know?
it
So,
is nice. It is nice to not have a boss, but I think if you become a really good realtor because you're already such a good actor, and like those jobs go hand in hand, like they're so similar, you know, like you already know what it's like to be an actor, and it's the same thing as a realtor. Like, you don't have a boss, you know, you are your own boss. So I think you'd be great.
yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So, what's something that you didn't expect getting into acting? I ask this question every time, but I think it's a good one to ask.
um, I don't know, man. I guess like, you know, obviously I knew like you would get like a lot of like, you know, attention and stuff, you know. I guess when we started getting into acting, I never realized how sacred my privacy was, you know. Um, so it's just like I learned to be more private about things. And even when Euphoria came out, bro, that's just kind of like that heightened everything, like all my anxiety and insecurities, because like, you know, like my family jewels are out there, you know, like my grandma saw them and it was just like a lot.
Oh,
My mom rewinded that scene like 5 times for my family, so it
oh.
was just like a lot to just
Dude,
understand.
I would have asked for a prosthetic. Did they give you the option at least or
No,
no?
but it was a crazy thing, dude. When I got to set, like I was in the wardrobe, and Sydney Sweeney, Alexa, and Eric Dane were all getting their makeup done, and they were all asking me questions like, "Hey, are you gonna go like full? Like, are you gonna wear prosthetic?" I was like, "No, they didn't even ask me if I could, like, if I wanted one." And then
Oh,
Eric Dane, the dad, the one who plays the dad of
Cal?
yeah, Cal, he goes, "Wait a minute, you know they're not gonna give you a strap." He goes, "They asked me if I wanted an 8 inch," and I said, "No, give me a 6," you know, but they insisted I get the 8. I was just like, "That's so sick, bro."
Damn.
And they're really cool about it though. They were like they weren't like too invasive. They just wanted to know like, "Oh, you're a fuck boy? Nice."
Damn, dude. No, I would have gotten anything, man. Cause like like what you said earlier, it was cold. You
Dude,
can't control that.
bro, like I tried everything in the book to like make sure that I had like a solid John, you know? Like I feel like I'm more of a grower, not a shower. So, it was
I mean,
tough.
if it would, yeah, like it looked fine. It's just like if it's cold,
It makes
like
it
there's
like,
nothing you can do about that.
yeah, it's like, oh man, it's like a raisin, bro. It's like a grape turning into a raisin, you know, it just
And
you do, you know, you gotta
and you're laying on your back too, which is like,
bro, it was tile, dude. It was like literally like I think it was like grout granite where it was like rough, you know, it was like rough tile.
yeah,
But it was
damn.
but
They
it was
didn't do you any favors.
It was really real. Like it's really like if you were having sex like in your mom's laundry room. Like it was like those vibes. Like it felt like you were in your mom's laundry room. So,
Where do they shoot it? That's
so
what I
yeah,
where?
Sony,
Oh, actually at the studio.
at the stage off of Overland.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Do
really
when they go to people's houses though, where are those houses at? Do you
um
know?
like where do oh
Like
okay,
they
yeah,
do shoot at a location.
yeah, when they're on vacation. I heard it's in like Sherman Oaks, like in the valley.
Okay. Yeah, I drove through there today and I was like, this feels like Euphoria.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But I don't know the exact streets. It's just I heard that area. There's a school. Oh, shoot, I worked on Blackish and we shot at that school. I think it's like Roosevelt High School, and that's in Van Nuys. So they shot at that high school.
I've seen that school and I'm like, that looks like a movie school.
Yeah, Blackish. We shot there, and then
Yeah. They always
uh,
use those little
it's
like
always
the
a
little ones with outdoor lockers.
yeah, right.
Yeah. They always use those. So this is something I'm interested in always.
Okay.
Um, what are your daily habits? Because I know for me that's a big thing in my life of just like having kind of a routine.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
sometimes it shifts around and changes, but you're a real estate agent, you're an actor, you do a bunch of side hustles. You got to be pretty regimented with your time. So I'm wondering what your day looks like.
Yeah, dude. I feel like, man, you said it, like routine is key. You know, you have to have a routine. And some days you have your off days, like on the weekends and stuff. But Monday through Friday, I'm up by like 5:45 to before 6. And I'm up at 6. I've already like gotten up and I have my laptop up. And I'm starting the pre-market, and then 6:30 is when the market opens. So if I'm doing good and like I don't like f up, then I should be done with like stock trading by 7:30. You know, if things didn't go out too well in the pre-market, then I'll have to just like wait it out and take a real job. And the market closes at 1. So that all depends, you know, like how the stock market goes will depend on how my rest of my day goes, really. Like if I'm out early, then I'll have the rest of the morning to chill. If I really have to hold till 1, then I'm just like doing house chores and stuff, you know, walking my dog on my phone, trading, cleaning up. um, but aside from that, you know, being an actor, bro, there's a lot of like, you know, personal hygiene regimens that you gotta like be on top of, you know, like
Yeah, like
face wash,
skincare.
skincare, bro. Like you gotta do like your moisturizers. So like that's like super important to me. I'm always washing my face. Hair loss, bro. Like I'm not trying to go bald. So like I'm
Do you
all
take finasteride?
I do, yeah, I do take
Me
finasteride. Dude,
too.
same person, bro.
Dude, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
same.
yeah, it's just you
I
prevent it.
mean, that's like I'm almost 29. I mean, I know I'm not supposed to say my age, but like,
Yeah, getting pushed is like a real thing for us, bro.
bro,
I'm not trying to
you
get
got to
pushed.
keep it right.
Yeah, so you know, preventative uh hair loss is what I'm like really into, making sure that I don't lose any hair because we're actors, you know, like we got to make sure that we look presentable, you know, making sure that your house is clean. I'm just a super neat freak, dude. Like I'm always cleaning. Like I take you to my I have a little calendar and I have like a list of things I need to do every day, and it changes every day. But as
That's cool.
I
What are your
erase.
like main ones? You said moisturizer, finasteride.
Well, like that's just like I don't even need to write that down. That's just
Yeah,
like
of course. That's like given.
breathing. So I would say like laundry, cleaning, washing the dishes are always on there, you know. Submitting to acting jobs, you know, like always that, like work
Yeah.
parentheses always kind of just goes into real estate too. Right now I am working on a sale, so like just on the MLS looking at homes, you know, but every day is a little different, you know. I like to say that every day is a Saturday, you know, because sometimes I
Yeah.
forget what day it is unless I have an audition. um, but dude, lately I've been really swamped with auditions. Like I've had 4 this week. So
Damn. That's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, I know. And like I like sometimes I feel like, dude, like, do I really have to do this one? But like I already said yes to my agent, so now I gotta do it. You know, I'm just like, and so why can't you do it now?
Dude,
You know,
I find like doing them as fast as possible
yeah,
is
really.
like the best way to do it. Like try to do it the same day you get it.
With I try and do it within the first like 10 to 24 hours. You
Yeah,
know,
because
or,
I've oh, go ahead.
you know, you go on.
Oh, yeah. So I find that like the fear of like doing a good job multiplies with the amount of time that I give it. And if I just kind of like knock it out, it's like your short-term memory is really powerful. And you're doing self-tape, so you kind of control it.
Yeah.
So you can rehearse it in the room and then like you're not going into a casting director. Like it doesn't have to be like perfectly
Hmm.
like memorized, even though it seems like it, because like I said, your short-term memory is like super powerful. Like you can hold a lot of shit in your short-term memory without it like being logged and like, like you need to remember it in a month from now.
Yeah, man, true.
So like I find that if I do it quickly, that voice of like, oh, this needs to be the best audition. You have 4 days. Why don't you just take the days to like make it the best audition you've ever done? I find the faster that I get it done, like the better it is. And like the more consistent my work is, because if you're always under the same pressure, it's like your work gets better in that amount of restriction. Do you know what I mean?
No, I completely understand you. You know, I feel like, yeah, when you just knock them out, like all of, like the lag time in between, say you don't knock it out as soon as possible, that lag time in between is just like you just questioning yourself and like, you know, questioning if that was the right move. Oh man, should I get a haircut? Oh shoot,
Yeah.
like is the backdrop not the right color? Maybe I should get some new clothes, you know, like should I shave? Should I not shave? You know, it's just like just do it. Just get the audition done,
Yeah.
just get out the way. So I feel the same way too, man. I did like The only ones I will put off, like, will take me like a day to for sure, are like the ones that are the 2 or 3 pages. But if it's like
Mine are like
long,
the 8-page ones.
I feel like right now, bro, is the reader. Finding a reader is hard for me. So if it's like a couple pages,
Dude, okay, I'm gonna save your life right now. Are you
what?
ready for this? I wish I could get some sort of referral off of this, but maybe in the future I will. So there's this site called We Audition, and if you're listening to this podcast on Spotify, I'll try to leave some sort of link for it. But yeah, so it's called weaudition.com, and you basically pay a monthly fee. I think it's like $10 or something like that, and you can get 20% off if you do the full year. But basically, you just log on, you say that you're available to read or that you need an actor to read with you, and you can do it from your phone or your desktop. And there are actors from all over the world that will hop on that exact moment. And all you got to do is like tip them like $5, $10. Some will read for free, but sometimes the auditions take like hours, you
What?
know.
Yeah, we pay.
But yeah, I always pay them like $20. Like I do, like I'll book like an hour up front for like $20, and then I just have the whole time to run it. But that
People
alone,
like could like have you ever like I mean what are these encounters like? You meeting these strangers, like where are they from?
they're all actors. They
All
usually live in LA.
oh, okay, so they're in LA based.
No, they're like legitimate actors. Like they're better actors than probably anybody you know.
No way, dude.
Yeah, it's
This,
called weaudition.com.
this is insane. What how have I not heard of this?
I don't know, man. Maybe you don't know enough actors. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I only have like no. I feel like all my friends are actors.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying it's a great resource. And especially if you're crunched for time. What do you say?
Does Spencer know about this?
I don't know. I never talked to him about it.
Always reading for that guy.
Yeah, so I use it mostly to rehearse, and then I'll have my fiance record the actual audition, or Spencer. Like I'll get him to come over and do it, or I'll go to him, and yeah. But I use it mostly for rehearsal because my fiance doesn't want to run it for like an hour at a time.
I was gonna ask you about that. So how do you feel like just even performing, not performing, but like working in front of your fiance? Because like sometimes I feel like asking my girlfriend to like, help me read, but then like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Because like I'm just kind of
I
just
don't really like it. I'm gonna be honest.
okay.
I'd
Yeah.
rather kind of have it as my thing.
Okay.
Like that's kind of like I kind of rather keep it separate as much as possible because it can get tedious, and sometimes tensions get a little high.
So that's why I'm scared. How it is.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's be technical. You don't want to snap at it. You don't.
yeah, you got to be ready to go if you're going to use your fiance or girlfriend. Like you can't be doing like 8 takes. Like it's got to be like 1 to 3 takes and then you're done.
Yeah, yeah. You have to be solid. You like
You
literally.
got to know your lines, you got to know your actions, you got to know your beats. Like yeah, because it's like it can get real tedious if you do more than that, especially with somebody who's not like an actor. The patience level is just automatically lower.
Yeah, it's literally like an automatic zero. Like they think the one take is the one you're gonna use. Okay, so that was good, and you're like, no, that was like shitty.
Yeah.
5 more times. Like,
Yeah, like they yeah, they think it's gonna be the one. And it's like we know, like sometimes it takes like, I mean, this is exaggerating, but like 50 times to like get it exactly where you want it. Because
yeah,
sometimes you're just playing with it, and sometimes you're seeing what doesn't work.
yeah. No, that's exactly right, person. It might take 50 times to be honest. Like the slate itself can sometimes be the hardest thing. Like, hi, I'm Andy Sandoval.
Dude,
Hi.
I
Andy,
am a psycho.
when it comes to slate,
No. So I practice this is so weird. I practice my slate while I'm driving around for work.
that's good. That's good.
So I'll be like in my car, just being like, "Hi, my name's Brady Martin. I'm blah blah blah." So then whenever the camera goes on, I'm just like, "Hi, my name's Brady Martin." you know?
He got me one time, but he was like, all right, say your name like you like your name. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and he's like, now say it a little less happy. I'm like, okay.
Dude, this is the slate tip. Are you ready for this? Okay. You look at the lens, you pick out your favorite person in the world, and you act like you're talking to them. But you got to pick a thing that you want from them. So you got to be like, I want you to like me more, or I want to make you feel sexy. That's a good one. So you look at the lens, you pick somebody that you're talking to, and you want to make them feel sexy. So you go, "Hey, my name's Brady Martin. I'm 5'10", and I'm based in Los Angeles." You
So you want
know,
sexy?
you want them to feel sexy. You want the lens to feel sexy.
Okay.
I mean, that was like a bad take
Someone
of it, but still,
someone told that to me before, but not for slaves. They said like whenever like you have to like break the fourth wall, or like even if when you're scared of cameras, like pretend the camera is a pretty girl and you're trying to be suave. I was just like, oh, that's easy.
yeah, like your best friend or something, or a girl. Yeah,
All right, nice.
I like to think of a good friend. You
That's a
know,
good tip, bro. That's a really
like
good.
trying to boost them up.
Yeah, because acting, dude, honestly, I found out real early on that like I might not have the chops for this. Like, I had to go to training, like I had to stutter, had a really bad
Oh
stutter.
yeah,
Like,
what's your training like?
I went to college at Santa Monica. I did some acting classes there. Did 3 years at UCB, the Upright Citizens Brigade. It's an
Yeah.
improv in Hollywood. And then since COVID's 2 years now, I've been taking Anthony Montez class via Zoom, and that's we practice the Meisner method.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Do you feel like you got a lot out of it, or some people don't feel like they use their training much?
I feel like, dude, I feel like to be honest, in my personal belief, there's a thing as being overly trained.
Mm,
So I try and take as many classes as I need for the amount that I need them. You know, and if I have an audition, like I'll just hit up my coach for private like training. Like a one-on-one for like two hours if I feel like I need it. But
yeah, I feel like privates are probably the best, honestly.
yeah, and it saves you money because a lot of times when you're in an acting class, your time is not like the most important thing. Like you also have to be a good listener, a good audience member to your fellow peers. So a lot of the time, the acting coach, is not just working on you; he's working on 15 other people. You
Yeah.
know, so you got to take that in mind, where it's like you're not the center of attention. So but it's also good because you get to see other things. But that's what I'm talking about being overly trained. If you go to the same acting class for years and years, the same people, you're only going to get the same like mental experiences that they can bring to the table. Whereas if you're taking like comedy classes and then you're taking like drama classes, then you're gonna have different like brains coming in with you to like create different experiences because everything that we are like our experiences since we were little. Everything that Brady is everything you've experienced. So when you bring acting and comedy to the table, your improv, I can tell right away what Brady's upbringing was like based on the things you say and how you sound.
Yeah.
So if you always train with the same people, it's not going to help you much. So I try and take classes for at least 2 months and then take a little break and then training. But yeah, always like a couple months at a time, I'll take a class.
That's cool. I have this view of teachers. I I definitely don't like idolize teachers whatsoever.
Mhm.
In my head, the purpose of a teacher is to make themselves obsolete. Like every teacher, I think, has a basic set of skills that they know and they're really good at. And to me, their job is to give them to you so you don't need the teacher anymore.
Yeah, that's
And if they're not trying to give that to you, I think they're trying to take your money.
I literally, yeah, I swear I never really like thought it out loud, but I think the same way too. Yeah, like you shouldn't be like give me the runaround, like give me the juice, like I'm
You
paying for.
shouldn't need to spend more than a year with a teacher, I don't think.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Just
Because usually you have the same basic tenets of what you believe. Like if you do believe acting is simple, and I believe acting is simple, like there's only a certain number of things that you can do, you know, um, as a person. Like nobody can tell you like, hey, be sad now. Like you can't just immediately be like, yeah, I'm gonna be sad. Like you have to translate that into something that stirs you on the inside.
yeah, flip the switch. Yeah.
Yeah. To where it's like, I need this from somebody because of this thing. So I feel like there's certain things that like acting teachers can coach you on. But more than anything, what I think acting is becoming more and more self-aware of the things that make you tick, you know?
Mhm.
And I think teachers only have a certain amount of skills that they can impart to you.
Yeah, I was listening to your first episode, and it was Nick, right? Or was
Nate, it's close.
all right, Nate. I'm so sorry, Nate.
Hey, that's only 3 letters different, man. Don't feel bad.
So what he was saying was just like I was agreeing with how he approached characters and stuff. Is that like you can't like what I've learned sometimes that we're trained as actors when you go to a lot of acting classes is they just want you to like they tell you to give the image that that you're looking for, you know, whereas you should be bringing your own image to it, you know. And I heard Nate say that he like and even you said it, like, instead of being the big dude, he kinda made it into his own image, and that's kinda what people are looking for because everyone's kinda doing the same thing because everyone's doing what they want, what they're expecting to see, you know? Um, so yeah, I think that's, like, super important too, like what Nate touched on.
That's something that I've really been working on. What you just said is like really just making sure that I'm bringing Brady to the audition
Yeah.
because nobody else in the world can be Brady and nobody else can be Andy. You know, like we're the only two people in the whole world that are have all those experiences.
You know what I'm talking about though, because I'm, like, totally guilty of it. I mean, when I first started out, I used to, like, see a role, like, for example, like, pizza delivery guy, like, stoner, I was like, "Alright," I'd be like, "Alright, what's up, dude?" Like, "Hey." Or the
Yeah.
same thing, you know? And just having, like, that as a attribute to the character, like, "Oh, he's a stoner, he's not a complete idiot, you know, he just smokes weed when he wants to smoke." Like, be yourself, you know?
Yeah, and like Andy could be a like what version of Andy is a stoner? You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's a totally different thing than being a stoner.
Yeah, so you gotta like kind of just like be yourself is what I'm learning, you know, like because everyone else is so different than you. So when you're trying to be something else, it really like the camera captures it right away. Like, all right, that's not authentic. It's not believable. You can see it right away.
Yeah. And so many of the things we do, like if we're like being general, is like kind of playing that idea of what we think they want to see.
Yeah,
And it's like you'll never be general if you're doing it as yourself because you have your own thoughts, you know?
exactly. That's it. That's literally it right there. Yeah, if you just being yourself, that's so unique already.
Yeah.
Heck
And
yeah,
it's like
it's
if
kind
you let's think about it like this though. If you grew up on, you know, if you grew up as you on the south side of Chicago, you'd be a completely different person than you growing up in, you know, Los Angeles.
yeah, well,
And it's
that's
like, so like if we can somehow find in our own heads how the circumstances would change us if we were involved in those circumstances, like that's where I think the idea of character comes from. Not necessarily like, oh, I have to be somebody else. It's like, no, it's like, what if I would have been in that type of situation?
That's true, yeah, like, learning, like, how that person's upbringing would have been, how they lived on that street in that city. Yeah, no, dude, I'm so glad we're having this conversation. You have so much to bring to the table when it comes to acting, bro. I never, like, picked your brain this much.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't. Yeah, we've never had like a super long conversation. It's always like, hey, Andy, what's up?
That's only
Like, I
stuff.
always knew you were a cool guy, but we've never sat down and had this type of talk.
Yeah, it's cool, dude.
Yeah. That's why I'm happy about this podcast, this forum.
I'm so proud of you, man. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I hope it does well, but mostly I want to help people because I know there's so few resources for actors that aren't just like celebrity interviews and things like that. Like we see the people at the top, but it's really hard to find resources for like people at our level or even people slightly above us because it
Mhm.
always seems like, oh, you moved out to Los Angeles and now you're a movie star. But in reality, it's like there's usually like a 10-year journey
There's levels
between
to
coming
that.
out and like making it and getting your first show. And it's like, I want to document that journey for myself. And I want to interview people along the way that are on their journey as well. Because I think a lot of people can identify with that struggle.
Dude, the 10 years, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said it, dude, because I've heard that before too, where it's like, they say in the entertainment industry, if you really buckle your head down, it should take you about 10 years to like really get a job and get somewhat noticed in the field that you're working in. Whether it's behind the camera or in front, it should take you about 10 years.
Yeah. I'm not counting the pandemic. So I'm on year 5 right now.
Okay, let's
So
see.
I'm halfway there.
I'm on year 6.
Okay. Including the pandemic or not?
No, not included.
Subtract 2. All
Yes.
right, cool. Yeah. Because I moved out to LA when I was 21 and I'm 28 now. So I guess technically I'm on year 6.
Dude,
So
here's something to make you feel a lot better about this, because like I I just finished standing in on the show Never Have I Ever for Jaron Lewison. He plays
I auditioned for that
what
part.
for
I
Ben
had
Brooks?
2 callbacks for that.
Dude, you didn't. Oh man, Ben
I
Brooks,
auditioned for the main sidekick and the uh what's the main guy's name?
Paxton.
Paxton. Yeah.
Wow,
But you can
that's
see they went in totally different directions. Like one
totally
guy's Hispanic and then the other guy's like I don't
different.
know what he is, but different vibes. We all have different vibes. But they kept calling me back for that one, but I mean, obviously I didn't book it. I don't really like to talk about auditions because it's like, oh, it would have been so cool if I booked it, and then you just kind of sound bitter. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So it's like good for them.
I think, dude. Here's what I see auditions. Even if you don't get the role, for me personally, I will cry just to even have the opportunity, just to even be thought of, like to give
Yeah.
me like, dude, what the heck? You want me to audition? Oh my gosh, like say no to me. I don't even care. Thank you for even letting me audition. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I remember getting that audition. I was like, oh, no way. Minnie Kaling has a new show. That's awesome.
Crazy, but
So
here's what I was saying is just like I just finished signing in for Jaron Lewis and we became like pretty close friends. And he was telling me when we rapped because he was just talking, but he told me, asked me how long I've been doing it for, and he was like, dude, it took me 15 years to book this, like to book something like this. He was like, I've been at it
damn.
15 years, like I've done commercials and small short films, but 15 years of like, hardcore grinding of auditions, never booking them. This was the first one, he's telling me. So 15 years, bro. That's something to think about.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think it can be shortened though. I
But
think if you really focus, like I really think for the first 5 years, I was expecting something to just happen.
yeah, right.
And it's like I would get the occasional audition here and there. Um, but I think the more you work, the more you work. My friend Wade, I think if he hasn't been on already, he will be one of the episodes that's coming out. He works almost more than anybody I know. And that dude is just the representation of a grind. Like that dude self submits. He does everything he can. He keeps in contact with people. His network is just insane. But he makes a full time living as an actor. And like you might not see him on the street, but like you might not recognize him, but he is making a living as an actor. Like he's literally living the dream.
Yeah.
And it's all just because of work ethic.
I like that you said that, like when you work, because it's true. Like when people see that you're working hard and you have that drive, they want to bring you back. They want to bring you back for their next project because they know your work ethic. Like, whoa, let's bring Brady back because he killed it on that last job. You know, that
Yeah.
stretch can happen.
Yeah. This is fun. This is a funny thought that I have.
Uh,
Like when I'm like working on something, I always want to make people slightly uncomfortable.
How so?
Like I kind of want to like when I'm doing a scene, I want it to feel like, oh wait, where did Brady go? Like I like to like I think it's more like liking to surprise myself of like how I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
But like if you're doing something like a really intense scene or whatever, I kind of like that feeling of like you just don't know what's gonna happen. And I don't think you can be like, I'm gonna play it exactly like this, and then this is gonna happen, and then this is gonna happen. And I always feel like if I like don't care about how I make the people around me feel, like I think like, oh, I want to make them uncomfortable. Like that helps me to like break down that wall of like, oh, I have to be this pretty guy for society and I have to like carry myself this certain way. It's like, nah, get down, get dirty, get weird with it, you
Yeah,
know?
it's true. Yeah, you gotta like break that like I don't know that little like shell that we like put ourselves in. When we get in a comfortable situation and when you're on set because like you're like, oh shit, am I gonna do a bad job? You just gotta like get down and do it because like it's fight or flight, And like I've had those thoughts sometimes where it's like they're about to say action, like all right, background rolling. I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Like, can I run? But then it's like you're like, no, they're about to say action. You gotta do it. So like, it's like,
Yeah, just fucking dive in.
yeah, just do it, man. You gotta get in it. Because it's like I don't know, man. Like it's for the art. Like
Yeah.
I didn't grow up wanting to become an actor, but like after like getting bit by the acting bug, like I can honestly say I can imagine myself doing anything else. Like I'm gonna be an old man acting. Like even if I'm a struggling actor, I'm still gonna be acting. But a short film, self-submitting on LA casting, whatever is out there in the metaverse in the future, I'm be grinding, bro.
I feel that way too. That's how I always try to like pick the things that I do in life. Like I didn't start this podcast until I was like, could I podcast till I'm 80? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's kind of how I pick things in my life is like, could I do real estate till I'm dead? Could I do acting till I'm dead?
How do you
You
feel about
know, about what?
acting?
Yeah, no, I feel 100% like this is plan A. Like there's not really a plan B.
Yeah, I hate
It's
that.
like I will not be a struggling actor. I know that for sure. Like I'm always going to make a living and I
Did
will
you love
have
it?
money, but there is never going to be something that takes priority over my acting career.
I love that. Dude, someone once told me, like, Andy, people are meant to be struggling actors sometimes. Sometimes, like, some people, that's what they're meant to be their whole lives. They're struggling actors.
I
And,
don't agree with that
yeah,
at
dude,
all
I had to cry.
because we have so much time, dude.
Not only that, but it's a different generation now. There's so many different streaming services with new originals coming out almost every single month. And then aside from that, you have the studios that are putting out their own shit, you know? So I think it's the best time to be an actor. So
Yeah.
with that I
We
was like,
still have the same resources. We still have networks putting shit out. Then we have all the streaming shit and we have web content.
yeah, web content too. So I wanted to debunk that statement and say that no, it's not everyone is made to be a struggling actor. It comes down to your work ethic and how much you're willing to invest in yourself and in your dream.
Yeah. And it's good that you're talking about this because I see you doing that. Like, man's got a nice car. He's got his shit put together. He's got a house.
Work hard,
So,
bro. It's like you feel like it's just all for the mental peace, though. You know, you have one
yeah.
life. Like I don't know, man. Like I've like lost a lot of people in my life, so it's like if I have one fear, it's losing people that are close to me. And so I try and just like cherish everything in life like to the fullest. Like whether it's driving cars, like where I sleep, like everything I just wanted to be like almost perfect so I can just like I was like I did a good job, you know, like I didn't have any regrets. Like I
Yeah.
did I wanted it.
My big thing is like a lot of people talk about like balance in their life. And like to me, balance feels a lot like you're intentionally holding yourself back in some area. So I like to think instead of like balance to have abundance in everything. Like I can have everything that I want and I can have it in abundance. Like there's no reason why I can't have an amazing relationship and an amazing career, you
Yeah.
know? But a lot of people go like, "Oh, I'm working so many hours, like I can't come home and spend time with my significant other or whatever and give them like full attention." But it's like if you really focus on spending quality time with them, like turn off the TV, cook dinner together, like go for a walk, like do things together. And I really feel like there is space for abundance. And like specifically as actors, right? You and me, we're not working every day on some show.
Yeah.
And even if we were, the show shoots for what, a couple months out of the year, and then you're on to the next project.
3 months, always looking for the next thing, you know?
So as artists, as actors, we have so much time on our hands to mess around and do other things and explore other opportunities. So there's no excuse for an actor to be a struggling actor. Like
Dude,
if I have an audition or whatever, it takes a couple hours to film it.
yeah.
You could have a full-time job, like a normal full-time job, and do your auditions in your spare time. Like
No,
there's no excuse to be a struggling actor nowadays.
yeah, no, yeah, that statement like hurt me deep because I thought she was like directing towards me. I made sure I was like, no, I'm never gonna like succumb to that statement. I'm never gonna be like, you know what, I was one of those people that you thought of when you said that. No, yeah. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people like that you run into when you say you're gonna be an actor. You know, a lot of people tell you, don't quit your day job, don't do this. And that's part of becoming an actor is just like blocking out those first negative things and then just trusting yourself to just do it.
Yeah. I'm a big reader. I don't know if you know that,
I didn't know
but
a
no, I
lot.
read every day. When I'm working, I'm reading. Like, but I was just gonna say one of the books that changed my life as far as that goes is this book called Real Artists Don't Starve by
Wow,
Jeff Goins. Yeah, and
that down.
he basically talks about patronage and like you need something to support your dream. Like even Michelangelo back in the day, it was like it didn't work for free. And it's like he wasn't just paying his bills through the act of painting. Like you need patrons to help you with that type of thing. So whether
What was that called again?
real artists don't starve.
Artist on Serve. That's a
Yeah.
good title.
Yeah, it's a great book. But nowadays we have so many opportunities that we can be our own patrons. We don't need some rich parent or some rich uncle to support our dreams. Like there's so many things that we can do in our spare time to produce abundant income in order to support ourselves and still follow our dreams and still have it be plan A without sacrificing the long-term goal for that side thing.
I don't think you probably do know you're doing it, but maybe you don't realize it. But I'm gonna tell you, just so you know, like you like subconsciously or consciously practice the law of attraction. Like you're
We
talking about,
talked about that in Spencer's.
like, yeah, dude. It's like I'm just hearing you talk, and like I practice it a lot too. And like you're talking about having things in abundance, and that's what it's about: is speaking into an existence and saying it out loud first, and saying that you can have it. You are going to have it.
This
So
is
that's
my one caveat for law of attraction. And I said this in that episode too, so I'm just repeating myself.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, I just didn't. Yeah. No, let me just explain it again. So because the episode hasn't come out yet, so that's why I'm saying it now. Basically, what I said is there's a lot of people who believe in law of attraction, right? And some people really do believe that all you have to do is think about things, right? But I don't subscribe to that idea at all. I do think there's a part of us that can manifest things, but I think it's because our attention gets tuned to that thing and we bring that thing into our life because we're subconsciously looking for that opportunity. Um, but I also don't believe that just by thinking about it, you'll get it. I believe that if you take action in a direction, eventually, if you take enough action, that thing will come to you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like, and I gotta reiterate what I said. It's not just speaking into existence. Like that's part of doing the action, but after speaking, you gotta do it for sure.
Yeah. I think big actions bring big opportunities,
And
you
that's for
know?
I mean, like yeah, I mean, you gotta be a yes man in this industry. You gotta just like be down for it, or else like I don't know, man. You're just gonna be not doing much. Like when Christian asked me to do that short film with you guys, I had no idea what it was gonna be about. Really, I was so
Dude,
down.
you were literally just walking down the street. That was so funny.
Yeah, I was like,
I
dude,
was like, Andy, what the heck?
I know, man. I just wanted to work with you guys so bad, dude. So I was like, I'm down. Whatever you guys want me to do, like, I'm down. You guys make them to me like the funniest videos. I crack up you guys' shit all the time, and like that's where mine and Jeremy's inspiration kind of came from. I told Jeremy, I want to make videos like these guys. Like, I want to do this, and he
Damn,
looked
that's awesome.
at you guys. So that's why me and him like shoot together more than you guys. But you guys are the reasons that I started to shoot my own stuff, like straight up.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Which one was that?
The first one I did with you guys was when like I stole Christian's friends. Remember? And you
Dude,
were
that was a funny video.
yeah, dude, you were that was funny.
I
Um
think I was just shooting that one.
yeah,
That was just the DP or
yeah.
something.
Mhm.
But
That's
yeah. Yeah, and then the one where you were walking down the street. I think that was Joey's
yeah, that one was funny.
video. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just a cinematographer on that one as well.
yeah, that one was funny too. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that was Joey's. That was like his Halloween those Hooper
Dude,
Heroes.
that one turned out great.
Yeah, it did. I
That
got
one
it.
turned out great.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So this is the final question.
Hit me.
What is something that you wish you would have understood sooner about the entertainment industry?
Oh my
If you
god.
could go back in time and tell yourself this, what would
Are
you
you
tell them?
serious? I think about this question all the time, bro. I think it's so important for actors that are just starting out to understand this. You got to learn to separate like your real social life and your acting social life. You can't early on in your career bring those two together when you're on set because it's just not professional and it's just not like set etiquette. Like it's
Yeah.
so I learned this on Euphoria. It was about I was 22, so it was 4 years ago, and I was dating this girl's. And I at the time, bro, I was emotionally immature. Like I didn't like know how to love myself completely. and I was completely codependent on this person. Whatever they wanted, like I would do, you know. And so she told me, she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're working with Zendaya. You have to give me an autograph. If you don't give me an autograph,
Oh, geez.
I'm gonna be so mad at you. I'm gonna yell at you." And she would, dude. She was like, she would yell at me. She would just get like insane if I didn't do what she wanted. So I was like, oh, I gotta get this fucking autograph for this lady. She's gonna be fucking pissed. Because I worked with G-Eazy once and she was freaking so mad that he get his autograph. And I was like, I'm not just gonna tell G-Eazy to give you an autograph for my girlfriend. Like that's so awkward. You know, so dude, it was like once me and Z started to like talk a lot, this is when I learned that I fucked up. I asked her for an autograph. I asked her to sign my sides. Yeah,
Oh,
and I fucked up. And that's when I learned that I realized that in her eyes, like I could see it in her face, she distinguished me from like
you just went like 8 pegs down.
a friend to a fanboy, you know?
Mhm.
There's a clear distinction where it's like now this guy wants something from me. And that's not how it was because I even told her it wasn't for me. Like I didn't even want like I didn't even know who Zendaya was that much. I only knew that she was in Spider-Man at the time. I hadn't done like I never watched her other stuff. So it wasn't that big of a deal to me to even get the autograph. And I hated that I did that for someone else because it wasn't for me. And I feel like that's a huge reason as to why I wasn't brought back, you know? Just my set etiquette at the time wasn't professional enough. I didn't understand to not marry those two. You know, I thought it would be okay because like I got the job and like I'm part of the crew, but it's not like that. Especially when you're a day player, like you gotta play it chill, do the job, and go home. You know, like
Yeah,
everyone,
man. That's
not your friends.
that's a good point.
Mhm. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, dude, that was a huge mess up for me that I
So what
learned.
would you say that is just a little more concise?
You know, just I guess learn and respect the boundaries on set, you know? That's really just it. You know, like and know your audience for sure
Yeah.
is like huge and just be professional, you know, like not everything needs to be proven that you were there or anything, just do the job. You
Yeah.
know, that's one thing that I for sure messed up on Euphoria. And after that, I took that to my other sets, and I did pretty well. I wasn't a fanboy how I was on Euphoria. You know,
Damn, that's good. That's
yeah,
really good.
I know, dude. That was a good question, bro. But thinking about that, like, it literally haunts me every single day. Like, if I can do
Damn.
something different in my career, what would I have done different? Not ask for that autograph.
Yeah. That's good advice though to give to somebody because like yeah, you gotta be professional. Even if you never worked a day in your life, you gotta act like you're just this seasoned professional. I feel like it's even more so if you're only on for a day.
Dude, I didn't understand that, bro. I didn't understand that. It was like, even though you got the job, you're also auditioning for
Yeah.
potential more days, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that, bro. I was really green at the time. I've only been doing it for like a couple of years, and I was like, I got a speaker on my block in Blackish, and that was like the first like of the caliber of talent that I had experienced. And I was just like, oh god, I messed up. As soon as I did it, I knew I messed up.
Yeah, I'm sure that switched in her head.
Yeah, but she was sweet about it though. She was really sweet. She actually waited for me to give it to me. Like she could have been wrapped an hour, but I
So
had
she
so
did give it to you.
give it to me. Yeah, she waited.
Hmm.
They actually wrapped her and they did my coverage, and she was like, "No, I'm gonna wait for Andy. I'm gonna watch Andy's coverage." And then like she actually came up to me and was like, "I would have felt like an asshole if I didn't give this to you." And she gave it to me. I was like, "Wow,
That
I
was
didn't."
really nice though, still.
Yeah, really sweet of her.
I feel like the only time it's appropriate is like this happened to Spencer, where everybody signs the I think the table read tape.
Oh yeah,
Uh
yeah.
I think he still has it, where everybody from the cast just signed the front page of the script.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's pretty
But
cool,
yeah. So yeah, that'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for coming on, Andy.
dude. Thank you so much for
I
having me
appreciate it, man.
on, bro. I'm so proud of what you're doing, dude. Keep it up. Congrats on being engaged, dude. Like, oh my gosh, man, I look up to you so much as a man, bro. You keep doing your thing out there, right?
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Hi to the missus from me, dude.
What'd you say?
So say hi to the missus from me. Tell her I said hello.
Will. Do you want to say anything before we log out?
Um, take it easy, LA, right? Don't drive so fast. Take it slow. Smile. Everything's gonna be okay.
I like that. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in again. That was Andy Sandoval. Plug your Instagram one more time.
It's Andy Sandoval with 2 underscores.
Sweet. All right. Thank you guys.